My name's Ed Horrich. I am Chief Executive of Jewish Small Communities Network. Thank you for joining us. If you are joining us, it's because you've heard about it on our mailing list. So I'm really pleased that you do follow us and follow what we do. And please do take part in anything that you see attracts you. And it's lovely for new people to meet one another as we go throughout the year. But this time of October, we're coming up to the commemoration of the massacre, the atrocities of October the 7th, 2023, when Hamas terrorists, backed by others, poured over the Gaza-Israel border and murdered innocent civilians. And sadly, last week, we had another atrocity here in Manchester, where I am these days, where two community members lost their lives in a terrorist attack. So we're commemorating both events this evening. And we're going to start, I did put this in the last email going out, but this weekend is both full of hope for potential peace in the Middle East and sadness, hope that peace may come, and sadness that on the anniversary of October the 7th, as we are having to make a commemoration, and also we are commemorating those killed and injured at Heaton Park Synagogue. So I want to say that this should be a safe place for everybody, whatever your views on the government here in the UK or in Israel. This is not the place to discuss them. This is a place of commemoration and not debate. And do show restraint. Do not make any comments or chat messages which may offend and upset others. However, there's lots of messages of kindness and support. There have been messages like that flooding in both to me here at JSCN, to Stuart down in Brighton, our head of engagement, to communities up and down the land. They've been telling me about the overwhelming number of messages they've been getting, and individuals have been receiving messages right, left, and centre. Maybe many of you have too. Now then, just as again I said in the last email, this event will contain graphic verbal, not visual, verbal descriptions of both the tragedies at the Nova Festival and of Heaton Park. So just please be aware of that. If this is going to upset you, beware of what you're going to hear. And so we start with a testimony, one that was I found very touching, from a survivor of the Nova Festival. Last year, our JSCN Summit featured how we are coping in this country with the fallout, and especially in small communities, the fallout from the atrocity of October the 7th. And we featured the work of an organization in Israel called Edut 710, who are recording thousands and thousands of testimonies of survivors and their families after that event. And so we're going to start with just playing this first one, which is about 5 minutes long. And I'm just going to set it up for you now. Now then, in order to play this, because it's in Hebrew, and to get the translation, we're going through the YouTube version of the video, which has the subtitles. I hope you're going to be able to read the subtitles. You're on a large enough device to read it. But it may play it slightly slowly and slightly jerkily, as it tends to on YouTube. And let's see whether I can find it. No, I can't find it. Well, we can play it this way. Oh, in fact, there we go. I hope you can see this. And this is a testimony from a young lady called Agam Yosefson. And, well, let's just play it. Oops. No, I'm going to stop that because you're not going to hear it. Let me just start that again. There we go.
אני עוד לא בכלל מבינה את זה שיש פה מישהו שהמטרה שלו זה לפגוע בי ולרצוח אותי. הם מתקדמים, אנחנו כבר שומעים את הצעקות שלהם. המיגונית זה מין מקום כזה, מאוד מאוד קטן. היינו בו בסביבות ה-25 אנשים, יכול להיות שיותר, מצומצמים כמו סרדינים. אני בשלב הזה מנסה להרגיע את הלב שלי כמה שיותר. פה הם כבר ממש קרובים, אני שומעת אותם מחוץ למיגונית שלנו. זורקים רימון ראשון. אני גיליתי בדיעבד לפני 3 ימים בערך, שאת הרימון הראשון שזרקו מישהו פשוט לקח אותו ביד וניסה לברוח על החיים שלו. הוא כנראה זרק את זה לצד, אבל הם כמובן ירו בו ולא נתנו לו לברוח, אז הם הרגו אותו. באחד מפיצוצי הרימון, אני הייתי בטוחה שזה בפיצוץ הראשון, כנראה שזה לא היה בפיצוץ הראשון. אני מרגישה פה שאני מתה, שאין אותי. ממש הרגשתי את הגוף שלי מתנתק, כאילו הרגשתי פתאום נורא שלווה ורגועה, אבל מפחדת, ולא ממה שקורה בחוץ, אלא ממה שקורה בפנים, כאילו, מהמוות שאני חווה כרגע. פתאום אני שומעת את איתמר, את חבר שלי, אומר לי, תישארי איתי. וממש זה מהדהד לי בראש, זה נשמע כאילו מישהו מדבר אליי במיקרופון ושמו על זה אפקט. ואני אומרת לו, אתה שומע אותי? והוא אומר לי, כן, אני שומע אותך, תישארי איתי. ואני כאילו באותו רגע הייתי בהלם שהוא בכלל שומע אותי, כי הייתי בטוחה שאני כבר בעולם אחר, שאני לא פה יותר. בום, אני חוזרת לעצמי, פותחת את העיניים, מרגישה שיש עליי מלא דם, לא יודעת אם הדם הזה שלי, של הבן זוג שלי, כאילו של מי הדם הזה. פשוט רואה פה כזה גוש דם, מזיזה את זה מהפנים שלי, ורואה ממש שהכל כתום ומלא אבק, יש לי מלא דברים בפה, אני פשוט יורקת. מי שאומר, תתחילו להגיד שמע ישראל. אבל אני מנסה להגיד מה שאני יודעת מהברכה הזו, ואני עוצמת את העיניים ומנסה להרגיע את עצמי. והוא מתחיל לרסס אותנו. מלא יריות, בלי סוף, לאן שלא תרצו, כאילו, לכל מקום במיגונית ירו. ואני רק כאילו יושבת ככה, סוגרת את האוזניים, מרגיעה את עצמי ומקווה שהבן זוג שלי פה לידי ושהוא חי. עם כמה שזה נשמע אנוכי, כאילו הדבר היחידי שרציתי לראות זה רק אותו. ואני שומעת שהוא סיים בעצם לעשות את מה שהוא עשה. ואני פותחת את העיניים, רואה לידי יותר נכון עליי, את הגופה של מי שנסענו איתה בתחילת הבוקר, של חברה של חבר שלי, שהיא בתחילת הבוקר כאילו עשתה לי צמאות והתנהגה כאילו היא החברה הכי טובה שלי. נתנה לי את התחושה הכי בטוחה בעולם, ועכשיו היא שוכבת לי על הרגליים כשהיא לא בין החיים יותר. והכל בכל מקום דם, וצעקות של אנשים שיכולים כאילו עדיין לצעוק מכאבים. ואנחנו עדיין שומעים שיש בחוץ אנשים, אנחנו עדיין שומעים שיש בחוץ אותם, את המחבלים, אבל לא מבינים מה קורה, ואני לא מבינה כאילו איפה מי שאמור להגן עליי, איפה מי שאמור לשמור עליי.
And of course, we know over the last 2 years, the release of some hostages and many hostages, 20 that we think we know are still alive, plus those hostages which are still being held, who were killed already and still being held. Let's just remember who they are. On the 730th day of this war, we remember the 48 hostages. And we hope they come home soon. It's a very serious day, but let's have a little sweetness to shine a bit of light onto this commemoration.
שליח מלאך לפניך לשמורך בתורת אוי לשמורך בתורת I know you will protect me I know you will watch over me I know that I am never alone I feel you right beside me I feel you right here guiding me I know that you will bring us home.
On Yom Kippur last week, a terrorist who lived about a mile away from the Heaton Park Synagogue rammed the shul gates, killing one community member, and tried to enter the shul to commit further attacks. Volunteers were barricading the doors to stop the terrorist. The police armed response team shot the man, but a stray bullet penetrated the synagogue doors, wounding one volunteer and fatally wounding another. It killed Adrian Dolby and Melvin Kravitz. Melvin was buried today as they were holding a rally standing with Israel and commemorating that terrible attack of last week in Manchester city centre. On Friday, you may have already seen this on Sky News, but if you didn't, Alan Levy, the chair of trustees of Heaton Park, spoke about those two men, and let's listen to how he described them.
Whether this is an appropriate opportunity to pay tribute to Melvin and Adrian. Can you tell me a little bit about Adrian?
Adrian used to come to pray every Sabbath, every high holy day. He was a quiet, unassuming man. He sat at the back of the synagogue in his father's seat. He insisted that he wanted to sit in his father's seat. His father was exactly the same as him. A lovely, lovely, quiet, unassuming man. And he would help anyone, Adrian, and highlighted by his bravery. You know, I said earlier, I think, that he was, when I went in and asked to secure those back doors, we're under attack, you know, stay calm. He said, Adrian didn't think of going down, staying where he was. Adrian got up. Adrian came out into the foyer. Adrian was holding one of those doors. And unfortunately, he's lost his life. Obviously, I understand now it's been said it's come from a police bullet, which is more than sad. There's obviously going to be an investigation, I imagine, into how that's happened. So I don't want to say anything more about that.
And that will run its course, and quite rightly so. And I wonder whether you could tell us a bit about Melvin.
Melvin was the same. Melvin was a friendly guy. Melvin has come to pray at the synagogue for as long as Adrian has, and Adrian's family, Melvin's family. I knew Melvin's mother very well. A real character. But Melvin would help anyone. If anyone would ask Melvin, could you just help me do X, Y, Z? Yes. When do you want me to come? Melvin, you know, I just need a hand with this, and do it. Melvin, you know, someone sadly has lost family. We need to get, you know, the Shiva chairs where the mourner sits on low, and some prayer books. I'll take it. That was the kind of guy Melvin was.
And can you tell me what Melvin did on the day? How brave he was?
I think Melvin, he was coming to shore to pray. I've seen information in the media saying that Melvin was a security guard. Melvin was never a security guard at the shul. Melvin was a worshipper. Like I said, he'd help with whatever shul needed doing, or what anyone outside of shul would need doing. I'm sure Melvin in his area would help his neighbours. I'm sure he would. But Melvin, it seems, was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I didn't see what happened to Melvin, but he must have been hit by the car.
Can I ask how you are today?
I'm upset. You know, I just find it hard, you know, seeing what I saw, being involved in what I was involved in. I just feel sad for our community, but we're strong, you know. Like the sign says out there, we're not Jews with trembling knees. We're not going to let this darkness stop us.
Alan Levy, the Chair of Trustees at Heaton Park Synagogue. Let's just take a moment to remember those two brave people who sadly lost their lives yesterday. Well, today in the centre of Manchester, there was a rally which was planned long before the Heaton Park attack. And I know there's been gatherings all over the country, and many of you will have had services in synagogues, maybe near you, maybe you couldn't get to the synagogue or wherever the service was being held. And that's why you've come on tonight, but maybe you're attending both. But up and down the country, synagogues, communities have been talking to the media, have been receiving messages of sympathy and support. And it's very reassuring when we do receive those messages. Sometimes support comes from the strangest sources, sometimes sources which we wouldn't normally expect to be talking to, but they come nevertheless. But there were many people showing their support at the rally in Manchester today. And I just want to play one little clip, which is of Rabbi Emir Elitov, who is about to become the senior rabbi of the Sephardi community for the UK, saying the prayer, Psalm 121, which is often said in shiva houses and at times of need. Prayer 121 translates as, I lift my eyes to the mountains, from where will my help come? My help comes from the Lord, maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. Your guardian will not slumber. Behold, the guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. The Lord is your guardian. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. By day the sun will not strike you, nor the moon by night. The Lord will guard you from all harm. He will guard your soul. The Lord will guard your going out and your coming in from now and forevermore. And let's just hear Rabbi Elitov.
Those who can join in, please do so. Shir Lamala, Esa Enai El Heharim, Me'ain Gavo Ezri, Ezri Me'im Adonai, Ose Shamayim Va'aretz, Al Yiten Lamot Raglecha, Al Yanum Shomrecha, Hine lo yanum velo yishan, Shomer Yisrael, Adonai Shomrecha, Adonai Tzilcha Ayad Yaminecha, Yomam HaShemesh lo yakeka, Ve'yareach balayla, Adonai Yishmorcha mikora, Yishmor et nafshecha, Adonai yishmor tzedcha uvoecha, מעתה ועד עולם.
You can see how many people were there today. Well, maybe you can't gauge. I would guess there was about 3,000 people there today. And that brings us very close to the end of this commemorative meeting that we're holding on Zoom. I hope it's been of some comfort and brought some solace and togetherness for those of you who've come this evening. Thank you for attending. Thank you for being part of it. I'm really sorry we couldn't let absolutely everybody in. I think it's the first time that we've run to full capacity. But there is a new saying which has come out of Israel. Usually we say Shana Tova. But over the last 2 years, Israelis have made a slight adjustment to that. It's Shana Tova Yoter, wishing you a better year. Now, if you want to share messages of support that have come into you, or an act of kindness that has happened, I'm going to scan across the screens. If you've got you know how to use your digital, put your digital hand up, that's very useful. But if not, just put your regular hand up, and I will invite you to unmute and to just share a very brief message. Everybody's very shy. I can understand why. Oops, I can see some with their hand up there. Hang on. I can see Jerry Crest down in Worthing. Is that right, Jerry?
That's that's correct, Ed. It's good to see you, although it's a somber occasion. We have had many communications from the various police chiefs down here at senior level, very senior level, and also from the council leader and other councillors who are offering all sorts of future help and support. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. And I can see Carol Abrams down in Catford. Hello, Carol.
Hi, Ed. Yeah, just to say, we've had masses of supportive messages down in Catford and Bromley Synagogue. We've had the police spending the night outside our synagogue, even though, thank God, we've never had any trouble. They're there for us whenever we want. I was at the Trafalgar Square event this afternoon, which was incredibly moving. Absolutely packed Trafalgar Square. And I've even had a personal letter from my MP.
Thank you, Carol.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Thank you, Carol. Shana Tova Yotor. And Fazlina up in Aberdeen. Ooh.
Sorry, I forgot to unmute myself there. Yes, I just want to express our even mourning today for what happened in Manchester for the Jewish community over there. And I just want to share that even up here in Scotland, in Aberdeen, so if you look in the map, like Aberdeen is like right up, on the northeast coast of Scotland. So on the day itself of Yom Kippur, while we're having our Yom Kippur service in our synagogue, police actually contacted us quite quickly. I wasn't aware of it because I was at work, unfortunately, but then I got the email ping coming from the police Northeast Division, Scotland, saying that they are increasing patrols. They are, have a CCTV team, surveillance, more around the surroundings of the shul area. And yeah, I mean, we are very, very shocked to hear that. At the same time, was quite impressed with the rapidity of the police reaction to what happened. And I have to say, most of us up here still don't feel very safe, but with the reassurance from the police, we feel that we should continue and do whatever we need to do. Sukkot is coming, so we're not gonna stop our activities, and unfortunately, it's not it's not it's not getting any better, I have to say, but we are all standing strong to stand for who we are, our tradition, our identity, and yeah, we're not gonna stop to stand up for ourselves. And thank you. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova and Hag Sameach for Sukkot. Linda Gerson down in Cardiff, and then Linda Ford Home down in the southwest. So Linda Gerson.
Hi Ed, thank you very much. So here in Cardiff, I echo actually what other people have said, in that following what happened on Yom Kippur, firstly we had a fantastic response from the police, massive support, covering both the synagogues here in Cardiff at a level where we had armed police as well, which I suppose is good, and I suppose it is quite bad, really, isn't it, when you just think, well, all we want to do is just go to shul and tavern. Again, like everybody, we've had a vast number of emails to the shul, to individuals, and had a phone call with the First Minister of Wales, because of course, being in Wales, we've got our own government as well, which again, I suppose it is a positive. And in the shul yesterday, mindful obviously in the attendance, we also had a kiddush to honour those people affected at the Heaton Park shul. And then today we've had a vigil at the Senate organised by Friends of Israel and Bridges of Peace, again marking the hostages. So I suppose though those are positive things, albeit things that we'd hoped perhaps to end a little bit sooner. And the other positive thing I suppose I can say is that, mindful of course that we're marking the 2nd anniversary, there were a lot of conversations that started 2 years ago, and a lot of people that reached out to us, but those conversations have sort of little bit whittled out. So I suppose if we're to call it a positive, it means that we're actually restarting those conversations, and regrettably the awful effects of what's happened in Heaton Park are perhaps hitting home to those people that can influence decision makers, policy makers, to perhaps help protect us as a Jewish community. Obviously too late for those people at Heaton Park, but something which hopefully we're going to benefit in Cardiff from, and obviously communities across the whole of the UK and perhaps wider. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lisa. And Linda Ford Home.
Hello, I live in Bournemouth, and I just wanted to tell you that the Bournemouth Christchurch and Paul Civic Centre actually had their flag at half-mast yesterday. And I just wanted to share that some of you will know that I have a lot of connections with Muslims, and so many of my Muslim friends sent me personal messages of support. And I just thought that needed to be shared. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Linda. And Beverly Levy in Leicester.
Oh, hello. My husband and I live in Leicester. We've just come back from Leeds visiting our family, and we've been to the BHH, and all the shul rabbis were there. Plus, there were Muslim leaders, Hindus, various churches, a big variety of support. So we just got back to Leicester not long ago, and also to tell you, I've been absolutely overwhelmed by a large group of church friends of mine here that support us and were very good collecting for us for Israel. So it's been heartfelt to think that people outside the community would give us support at these times of need, and our Muslim friends as well here in Leicester, which is obviously very multicultural, to put it mildly, but there are still people here that feel for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Beverly.
Thank you.
It's good to hear that there is multicultural support.
Yeah, thank you.
And Yakov has his hand up. Oops, and a couple of other people.
Hi, I'm from Cardiff as well. I'm from Cardiff Reform Synagogue. I just want to say what Lisa said. Just from the beginning in Yom Kippur, the police presence was very strongly held, and they came to us with reassurance. But what's more important, yesterday when we came for the service, there were flowers laid down by the door to the synagogue, and quite a lot of cards as well from the First Minister of Wales, from Muslim community. So in those moments we can find that though we have to be strong and we have to be really be ourselves with ourselves, but there is some support from people around. They do understand that we are just people, same as they are. Not Jewish, but people. That's how I would say. Thank you.
Thank you, Yaakov. There we go. Slight technical background noise there. And I'm going to go to Rena Isaacson. Hello, Rena.
Hello. I just wanted to reiterate what many other communities have said. The police very, very quickly came to us on Yom Kippur. They have continued to support us to the fact that even today, while we were making our sukkah, they sent a community police officer to come and join us and just be with us so that we were okay while we were building our sukkah. We've had many letters from MPs and from many other organizations as well. This is across the country, and it's so heartwarming that the world is coming to us as well.
Rena, where are you?
Oh, sorry, Colchester. Colchester. We have it's a small community, but we have a small community here. Yes, Colchester.
It's nice to hear from you in Colchester. Thank you very much, Rena. Thank you, everybody, for taking part this evening. There's so many people who wanted to take part. We couldn't get everybody in. But as you will probably have been watching social media, there have been many messages, ours amongst them, about what happened last week. And we hope sincerely, whether you're a supporter of President Trump or not, that his efforts to create peace in the Middle East actually come to fruition. Now, finally, I just invite everybody, as we say goodbye, just to unmute and wish everybody else Shana Tova, or whatever greeting you would like. So unmute and then
Shana Tova,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.